Good evening and welcome to EthioAlert TV, with tonight's top story. Round pushpin headline, Ethiopia's return to the Red Sea, strategic momentum gains global attention. A prominent Israeli think tank has reported that Ethiopia's move toward reclaiming access to the Red Sea has become increasingly certain. This development, published on Saturday, emphasizes the significance of Ethiopia's naval ambitions and its potential to reshape the balance of regional power in the Horn of Africa. According to the Hebrew-language report, the re-entry of Ethiopia's naval forces to the Red Sea is not only a strategic necessity but also a stabilizing factor that could end long-standing geopolitical volatility in the region. Globe showing Europe-Africa global support and strategic alliances. The report further reveals that Israel, the United States, and the United Arab Emirates are actively supporting Ethiopia's efforts to regain Red Sea access. This trilateral cooperation is reportedly unsettling Egypt, which has historically considered Red Sea dynamics central to its own strategic interests. In a related update, the Lebanese newspaper Al Akhbar confirmed Ethiopia's maritime return in a recent article. Meanwhile, Al Jazeera Arabic posed a provocative question: could Ethiopia challenge Houthi control and assert itself along the Red Sea coast? This isn't about warmongering. It's about restoring justice and rightful access. Ethiopia must reclaim its legitimate place on the coast, the report asserts. United States-US diplomacy in the region. In what appears to be a coordinated diplomatic effort, the U.S. president has embarked on an official visit to three key Middle Eastern nations, signaling growing international focus on Red Sea security and influence. Dear viewers, for more than 3 decades, Ethiopia has endured the pain of being landlocked, a national wound left unhealed by misguided geopolitics and internal weakness. This loss, inflicted not by military defeat but by diplomatic missteps, has long denied the nation access to one of the world's most critical waterways. But today, a new Ethiopia is emerging, not through begging, but through bold strategy, unity, and determination. Our message is clear: a nation cannot remain imprisoned within borders unjustly imposed. Bar chart strategic analysis. Currently, major global powers, including the US, Russia, China, Israel, and Turkey, all maintain a presence along the Red Sea via bases in Djibouti, Somalia, and Sudan. Ethiopia, despite its size and influence, has remained on the sidelines. But the tide is turning. The report warns that remaining passive will only embolden those seeking to weaken Ethiopia, particularly Egypt and Eritrea, which have historically opposed Ethiopia's access to the sea. Compass Red Sea access, a national imperative. Ethiopia's absence from maritime affairs is no longer acceptable. The call for access to the sea is not a request, it is a rightful claim rooted in history, identity, and survival. As the anchor of the African continent, Ethiopia's voice must be heard on maritime matters. While the return to the Red Sea might raise tensions, this is not a declaration of war, it's a declaration of existence. Light bulb closing remarks. In the story of a nation, there come moments when the present generation must act not just for themselves but for generations yet to come. For Ethiopia, that moment is now. Before we move forward, we must remember where we came from. Round pushpin. Let's watch our viewers, the day the sea went silent, to Ethiopia. It was May 1993. The Ethiopian flag was lowered for the last time over Azeb port. No cannon fired. No final salute. Just silence, and then, the closing of a gateway that had served as Ethiopia's vital connection to the world for over a century. Azeb was more than a port. It was where fathers returned home from duty, where goods crossed continents, where salt from the Red Sea crystallized into the lifeblood of a nation. Broken heart. Our viewers, let tell you heart-touching story, a father's uniform. Captain Tesfaye was among the last Ethiopian naval officers stationed at Azeb. When the navy was disbanded, he brought home his folded uniform in silence, never speaking of the sea again. His daughter, now an engineer in Addis Ababa, keeps that uniform framed, saying, "One day, I'll take it back where it belongs, to the Red Sea." Glowing star. Our viewers, let's add you another heart-touching story, the boy with a shell. In a small village outside Bahir Dar, 10-year-old Kaidas found an old seashell in his grandfather's belongings, a keepsake from the days of Azeb. He asked, "Grandpa, when will I see the sea for myself?" The old man replied, "When Ethiopia rises again, you will walk where I once stood." That boy now studies maritime law in Norway, preparing to serve the nation he dreams of restoring. Stop sign reflection: how did Ethiopia lose Azeb? Ethiopia didn't lose Azeb in battle. It was a diplomatic failure born from rushed transitions, internal division, and silence. As Eritrea declared independence in 1993, the issue of sea access was neglected by a government struggling to define its identity. Ethiopia voluntarily became landlocked, a status only 16 other countries share, none with such a deep maritime legacy. Loudspeaker call to action: the return of dignity. We cannot rewrite the past, but we can honor it with action. The return to the Red Sea is not just strategy, it is healing. Every Ethiopian, from the farmer to the diplomat, must carry the dream forward. Whether through negotiation, economic partnership, or regional cooperation, we return not to conquer, but to restore justice. Folded hands, a prayer for the sea. We pray not for war, but for wisdom. Not for dominance, but for dignity. The sea did not leave us, we left it. Now, it is time to go home. Ethiopia's heartbeat never stopped echoing in Azeb. Now, let it resound across the waters once more. Newspaper: this was EthioAlert's special segment, Echoes of Azeb. Share your story, carry the dream, and keep the sea in your heart. We will continue to monitor this development closely. Share this update widely and stay tuned as we follow this transformative national journey. Newspaper: you've been watching EthioAlert TV. Good day and stay informed.